else is talking about it, so why can't I? Let's talk about how we fix Monaco. And I will start off, for everyone angrily typing already, it's been going on for decades, at least for 3 decades, as long as I've been alive. Monaco has been this way. You can look at this F1 subreddit post from 13 years ago about how we fix Monaco. Maybe step 1 of the conversation is just admit this is what it is, and Monaco's not for racing? Is that too much? It's there for the vibes. People will say it's there for the history, it's there for the money, it's there for the show, and we just have to accept one race out of 24 is like this. And I say just one race, Miami. The actual number 1 is changing the layout of Monaco by making certain corners wider, moving chicanes, etc. And yeah, in theory, that sounds fine, right? It sounds like something doable, something we can control, and we just do it this year and move on for next year. But again, the problem is still the same. You then trundle along the rest of the track, and everyone's doing it, so you really don't overtake. Cars are still too wide, and though next year in 2026, they'll go down by a couple 100 millimeters, it's still not enough room. We're also not going to reclaim the marina or change any parts of the marina. Why would they spend millions of dollars to adjust the marina for a percent chance of overtaking in a 2-hour race out of the whole entire year? The next one is we stop going to Monaco. It's just never gonna happen. It's just never gonna happen. I don't know how to tell you. I do wish people would stop being angry and upset when that is a suggestion. At some point when we went somewhere, it was new. At one point when we were in Monaco, it was new. 75 years ago, Formula was new. Formula 1 was new. And did you know we didn't go back to Monaco for 4 years after the first one? That's right, we went to the Indy 500 more in the beginning. Then we went to Monaco. We don't go back to Monaco. We will be okay as a society. I promise you. However, I understand that Formula 1 would never do that. Number 3 is making the cars smaller. I understand they're the size that they are for safety and for speed, etc. I know next year they are smaller, but you all need to read the regulations. They're like 100, 200 millimeters smaller. We're going in the right direction, and maybe it'll be very small, but for now, no. I also know there are certain sizes for speed and for safety, so that's something to consider as well. Number 4 is messing with the tires and strategy, like this past weekend was a 2-stopper. You can also mandate them use all 3 tire compounds that are bought to the race. That's also fine. You just like made it Pirelli's and the strategist problem that the cars aren't small and Monaco's not built for this kind of racing. Number 5 is design cars just for Monaco, and that's just like a ridiculous expense cost. Especially when you have 23 other races a year you have to deal with. Just designing one car, one specification of car would be a little much. My favorite one is changing the format of the whole entire race weekend. You can do a reverse grid sprint race. Use the current championship standing to set the grid in reverse over for a Saturday sprint race. You could award points, but it doesn't set the grid for Sunday to keep your traditionalist happy. You can do a qualifying Super Pole shootout. Top 10 drivers from Q2 get 1 flying lap each. 1 by 1, no traffic, no tow. It's a little bit more dramatic, and I would say a little bit more fair, especially with traffic playing such a huge role here. You can do a 2-race weekend. Make it 2 40-lap races on Saturday and Sunday. Race 1 could be a grid standard qualifying. Race 2 on Sunday is set by race number 1, or like a partially reversed top 8. We'll play around with that a little bit more. It doubles the racing drama, allows for strategy resets, and reduces the damage of a single bad start. You do an aggregate time format. 2 shorter races, do one Saturday and Sunday. The winner determined by a combined time. Keeps the tension alive in both races and encourages the driver to keep pushing throughout both of them. Any mistake in race 1 does carry some weight, but a comeback is possible. And I don't know why I'm totally more okay with like a format change than any of the other suggestions. We're never gonna leave. We're never gonna be able to change the cars. Clearly just doing the tires like that doesn't work. And you might as well try something new. And you might as well use that weekend to do something exciting. Another suggestion that could be combined with a format change that hear me out is loosening up the rules a little bit. Make it actually iconic. It turns Monaco into a strategic and technical wild card race. Lets teams innovate a little bit more, get a little bit more creative with the restrictions that are in place. Let them play. So it's less about outright pace, more so who's clever. And this makes it feel like an all-star race event of technical creativity. It makes it more than a procession. It becomes a showcase of ingenuity. Open up the air rules, open up the cooling system, let them do bodywork tweaks. What can these teams come up with? It becomes a rule-bending, high-stake chess match. And that could really increase the overall appeal to it to people who find it visually stunning, but competitively boring. Apologies for the jump scare. As I'm just trying to wrap up this video, I clearly caught the racetrack sickness when I was in Indianapolis. All in all, Monaco is not going anywhere. Teams have stated that they sell out VIP hospitality very quickly. They make a ton of money. It just doesn't have to be fixed.